being Super 22nd Commissioners Court meeting, the last one of the year. Let the record reflect that we have a quorum, all the commissioners are here.
And Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, everybody.
Same to you, all right? I want to call the meeting to order and ask that you please stand and join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Commissioner, would you lead us in a word?
Lord, thank you for this time we can come together, and we just ask you to bless this court, guide us, help us make the right decisions for our county, deal with our city here also. Help us to remember what this, we're coming into Christmas, the celebration of you sent in your son and the virgin birth of Jesus Christ. That is the greatest miracle that we've ever had on this earth, is that he sent his son to die on the cross for us, that we all may be saved. Lord, go with us, God, direct us in all things, forgive us of our trespasses. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Amen. Thank you.
Item number 4, public comments. Do we have any? Item number 5, massive possible discussion of items of program or community interest for which no action will be taken. I'm Got rolled up here on us. We had nice crowds at the Shepherd and the Cold Springs Christmas festival. Cold Springs, the parade, we started at the fairgrounds and went all the way. I don't know how many long, lots of folks. Anything else going on?
Mr. Natuno got a new son-in-law.
Yeah, congratulations. Thank you. Sure did.
So, DECOG Executive Board met Thursday, and we approved the recommendations from the Solid Waste Committee, and we are going to get the tire recycle grant. We're just going to be short one trailer, so we usually have 4.
I heard it was pretty close, but the Commissioner Precinct 3 made a riveting oratory when she presented our application to the committee, and I thank you for doing that.
She was petrified. I was begging.
I kind of doubt that, but I appreciate all your hard work.
She did a good job. We just need to, the court needs to cover what days that we need to have that. Well, and the court dates, some.
I like to do ours on, we did 1 and 4 on Friday, right? No, 1 and 3 on Friday last year.
Well, let's put it on
2 and 4 on Saturday.
And we'll officially approve that.
Just swap them up a little bit. Hey, it's a good program too, man. There's a lot of, you'd be surprised. And thanks to Sheriff's Department too for sending out someone to help us on that.
I know the property behind us here, I don't think we have a specific item on that. They've been making lots of progress. We started, as soon as we let the burn ban off, they started clearing up the property, and I think several precincts have chipped in, working on it like we all should, and they've, it's looking real nice. That thicket turned into a very nice piece of property.
Sure is.
Like they alternated on who rolled up there and filled up the dozers, I think. Everybody still does a time or two, I hope. So anyway, it looks really, really nice.
Thanks for everybody's help, everybody's participation, all that, y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Anything else under number 5? If not, we'll move on to Miss Walters. Yeah. Miss Walters was 92. I don't think she ever spanked me in school, but her husband, Thomas Earl, was our principal. What? That fellow delivered a lick, I'm telling you. So I've been told, no, I'm going to a funeral this afternoon. Judge Ellis's mother-in-law, Ann Snow, passed away at 2 o'clock. I guess if I was thinking there was something else I wanted to share, but when it comes back into my brain, we'll go back to it. If we don't have anything else, we'll move on down to.
We had one more, we had the, job fair last week over at Shepherd for the energy project, that energy in Kiwi. I seen Miss Justice there, I seen it, there was a good turnout for that one, so maybe it benefit our community some.
Good. All right, item number 10, consideration, discussion, possible vote to approve interlocal agreement for the jail services with Polk County.
Anything changed in any of this stuff? No. In the fees, or I didn't see nothing that I seen.
No, we just need updated version.
I'll make that motion. I have a motion by Commissioner Jacinto to approve the jail contract with Polk County for them to have inmates over here in our jail.
I'll second that.
Second by Commissioner Downey. I believe it's $65 a day.
Yes.
Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it, it's unanimous, 5-0. Consideration, discussion, possible vote to authorize the county judge to execute a professional services agreement with an independent real property appraiser procured through the county small procurement process for services required in connection with the Texas General Land Office GLO contract number 24065 179F145 and an amount not to exceed $50,000. Yeah, it's usually $400 or $500. If we weren't going through the GLO grant, we wouldn't have to go out to bids because it's way below the $50,000 ceiling that we impose. But GLO requires us to put in for that. I think last time we voted to have you contact 3 or 4 appraisers, and I know we suggested all the local ones, we got ahead and went beyond that, but, what'd you come up with?
I came out with 4 responses on there, and, being Bruce Martin and B.L. Clark and Stanton Marsh, and
They give you any paperwork? I didn't see nothing in my.
Give you guys a packet.
Bruce.
Yeah, there's your one.
Bruce Martin been doing it a long time. There's that one.
Yeah.
Bruce been doing it a long time. There's Clark's. There's 2. Yeah.
And, my recommendation is going to be Stanton. Marsh just for price, and I give you all my Stanton.
Bruce Martin, oh, it says B. Martin, yeah.
Did you get something on?
So I got a proposal from
I didn't get you Stanton here.
Bruce Martin.
Right there, that's it down there.
Bruce Martin, 650. Here's the state north. B.L. Clark is, B.L. Clark is 700 for one and 750 for the other. Who else did you get?
Well, which is Randy, he's giving me a no on that. And then Stanton Marsh. I just got here, so I didn't get,
Stanton Marsh, he's out on Alaska.
yeah. Or is he Livingston?
Well, he might be Livingston.
I think he comes out Livingston, he's 600. And his time to turn time is good. As good as any rest.
So 600 apiece on Stanton Marsh? Bruce Martin was 650, Stanton Marsh was 600. And Clark, where's Clark from? Do you know?
Show us Livingston on here.
So you have the originals to give to Judy or whoever you're dealing with, Anna?
Right.
They're gonna need those bids. And even Randy's,
Randy's no bid down there, yeah, I'll give all 4 of them to her.
So you had a motion?
Make a motion to go with Stanton.
I'll second that. I have a motion by Commissioner Sweeney to use Stanton Marsh. Second by Commissioner Jacinto. Any other questions? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. It's unanimous. 5-0.
Commissioner Swain, make sure I get copies of this one.
So take care of it.
Item number 12, consideration, discussion, and possible vote to approve the application to revise subdivision plat, revising part subdivision plat of Rolling Hill subdivision, section 2 by combining parts of lot 98 and 99 as recorded in volume 122, page 141 of the plat records of San Jacinto County, Texas, and renaming lot 99 as lot 98 as lot 98A, and renaming lot 99 as 99A. So we're not combining them,
Well, we are combining a little bit, and that's that's why I went ahead and did the replat. If you look at the plat,
You have a big one?
she had,
They're trying to get around the creek.
the boundary line
Okay,
actually,
there were two rectangles side by side, and now you want to change it to where the creek's down there.
yes, sir, because part of 99 was actually across the creek. And that was causing a problem, so what they wanted to do was take that part and combine it with 98. And then I've been working with y'all's county engineers since day one on this to make sure that we could do that, because the creek, as we went down the creek line, would not then give 99 an easement.
Who are the owners?
Dan Phillips.
So he owns property on either side in addition.
He does, yes.
He owns it all,
He does, he owns, well, but he's in the process of selling part of it. And that was one of the reasons why they wanted to get it cleared, because they did not want to have part of
He didn't
one
want to
lot
have to
over on
build
the other side of the
bridges across his property so one lot could get to the back side of the lot. without
Yes.
Crossing that creek.
Yes.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I'm working on an official easement for him on that.
Is that what you said you were working with the engineers on?
Well, no, what I worked with y'all's engineer now. I thought he was gonna be here. He told me he'd be here today, but I guess. That Mark Wood.
How close is that city right there, that line? I think it's real close.
Well, I don't know. I followed the guidelines that Mark told me to do, and the city wasn't included in it.
Commissioners, did it give you any heartburn?
I know what they're trying to do. He's just trying to get around that creek. That's all he's trying to do.
Yes.
And he owns all of it, basically. He's just
Yes.
without it.
But
I make that motion.
Is that a motion? I have a motion by Commissioner Morris,
I'll second.
second by Commissioner Donnie. Any other questions?
You guys have,
One's 1.01, one's 1.67, so it's not like they're not big enough to do anything with it anyway.
right.
did you get ready to sell, or ready to sell part of that, correct?
Yeah, he's working on selling 98 acres now. Yes.
Gotta sell, so real fast.
Well, he's got a buyer. We're trying to get it done by the end of the year, and
Probably already, he's trying to get this done so he can finalize it.
yes.
Good for him.
Well, maybe Santa Claus will stop by his house. I get that. Any other comments? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. It's unanimous, 5-0.
Thank you.
One second.
You guys, yeah,
I got one.
Yeah.
The official go for
Not real big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're running that great, they're gonna try to put a trailer on the backside of that, if they're gonna have it, is that what you're playing?
So again, got your coffee.
I really don't know. He's just been trying to do that one, so.
Well, that's one of the
That's their business. That's my business.
There's one here.
Yeah, right.
Is that what we got up there already?
Three of my sister's marbles.
I've been here 10 months. There's stuff I've seen this.
They're all square away.
This one is. My girls will fill that out when it takes a minute to get
So,
Absolutely, have a good day. Item number 13, consideration, discussion, and possible vote to approve the annual renewal of the work-based learning agreement workforce solutions. San Jacinto County with the majority of the departments, the only change with the agreement is that the hourly wage is $10 per hour for all positions due to changes in the Federal Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act program through Texas Workforce Commission guidelines. So, whatever contract you send, is that not what you're asking us to approve?
Well, there's changes to it, so.
Do you have something else, what you want us to approve, so we can look at it?
It's your copy, and there's 2 copies of it, so we can get 2 signatures, so I can wait.
Everybody on the floor probably wants to look at it.
That's just the original one, it only requires your signature. Okay. This was, if you want to look at this one, this was a copy. Okay. So, the first page, basically what has happened is they wanted us to streamline this contract. So every year, we bring this agreement whereby individuals can work through the Work Experience Program of Workforce Solutions. They will be listed as a trainee with the county departments, but they will be paid by under this workforce, it's called WIOA, Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. So they'll be paid by Workforce Solutions, but they will be working in your departments, and for all intents and purposes, for the public, it'll look as if it's your employee. So the way this works is participants can be, we have paid and unpaid. So the ones that I'm presenting to San Jacinto County will be paid positions. The reason I wanted to get this approved today is because we have one contract that's pending. There's one person that the Treasury Department has submitted, and this individual is going to be working in one of the departments. So we need to get this signed off on before the end of the year, so that person can then start to work. So the way the process works is once this contract is signed off on, on page 7 is where you would need to sign, Judge. Once that's signed off, then the Treasury Department, well, name is normally submitted to the Treasury Department, so DD is listed as the contact. They will then go through, if you look on page 9, we have all the departments that have been approved to have an employee work in their department. So if you look at, for example, if you look, we have the positions listed as well. So under animal control, position is animal control trainee. Under the appraisal district, it's a clerical office trainee. And then if you go down to the commissioners from precincts 1 to 4, those positions, 3 positions, clerical office training, public works, or heavy equipment operator. So it's just for each department. Last year when I worked with the department heads, we went through and picked out certain positions for those departments. For the IT department, there's an IT trainee. When I worked with Mr. Dillon last year, he added on a paralegal training. For the sheriff's department, there is a, let's see, there is dispatch training, evidence and records training, as well as a jailer training. So the job descriptions for each one of those are
$10 an hour, we think quite a bit more than that, I don't know who we gonna get to work with.
So here's the thing, the thought process with the powers that be who set this up is that they will come in and they will work for you as a trainee at $10 an hour where the government will pay them. If they meet all of your qualifications, they go through the training process and they work out great, and you decide, hey, I want to hire this person, you're basically training your next employee. So if you decide to hire them, then it looks like they got a raise because you pay higher than the $10.
We don't have any positions other than the 90 positions we have.
But so, let's say this individual that's gonna be working, if that person starts in a department, the individuals go through an orientation called JYOA, and there is a copy of that. The orientation happens every Wednesday at 1 o'clock. So when they go through that program, they're taught different skills. So if they meet your qualifications and they meet all of those guidelines under that WIA program, there is an assessment. So they can be given either 3 months, 6 months, they can even be given a year to work with you. So in that period of time, and it varies by individual. So there's a youth program, and that's 18 to 24. We have lots of money for those right now, for the youth. So if you know anybody.
Youth program?
Yes, the youth program. So if you know anybody that's 18 to 24, and there are various things that will make them qualified. So they could be parenting, they could be homeless, they could be dislocated, any number of things. So those individuals can reach out to Workforce Solutions. Every Wednesday at 1 o'clock, there's an orientation. They go through that process. They're assigned a case manager. Now this process takes 3 to 4 weeks for them to get approved. But then once they go through the workforce program and they're approved, then that's when the Treasury Department will be contacted and they'll say, I have Jane Doe who wants to work in this department, and then the Treasury Department will then coordinate the interview. So you're not just giving anybody, you are set up with an interview through the Treasury Department. You interview that person, then once you accept them, then
Treasury Department's got to interview the road and bridge hands?
No. The Treasury Department is the contact, because it's HR, they're the contact for the county. And so then what they would then do is if somebody's coming in and they're for a particular department, then they would contact the department. So the best example I have is with Commissioner Domini, where we placed somebody in her department. So then at that time it was Tanya Matthews. So she contacted Ms. Domini, and then she set up the interview. She did the interview, then she approved that individual. Then it went back to the treasurer. They did all the paperwork, and then they set up the start date, and then they start working. So you won't, so for you, Commissioner Mars, we won't just say, here's a person, like you did an interview and there was somebody you declined, and so it just goes like that.
What is your changes? What is your changes?
The changes would be, first, that it's $10 an hour. Before, the wage ranged from $7.50 to up to $15. The second thing is on page 9. So there, we had all the departments. We had to remove the constable's department because these individuals have to be supervised, right? And so the constable's department is a one-man crew. There is no other person. So there's nobody to supervise those individuals. So if you look on, there's several page 9s because there's several locations.
I'll find page number on here.
Yeah, put on the bottom. The first one, 1 through 9, are very bottom in the center. So these are all the departments that have been approved. I got the latest county directory from Tracy, and it was dated November 24th. And so all the changes for staffing should be listed on there. So if there was a change in an administrative person, or if there was a change like what was submitted, if any positions were changed based upon the last election, all those changes should be there. So all of these departments that are listed are the ones that have been approved, and there should be a person listed there for each department. So the department list has been redefined and
The
removed.
constable can't supervise whoever you get. I mean, we got 4 constables. They don't
But
have any paid employees, but they do have deputy.
right. Well, they're not authorized to ride along with them. That's one thing that the government doesn't. Now, if they are able to ride in the county vehicles, they can go from location to location, but they are not allowed to ride alone.
Wonder why they chopped the salary down from 15 down to $10. I don't know anybody that'll smart get anybody working.
But see,
$10.
and the thing is, I didn't make the rules, I'm just repeating it to you, but what they were saying is that these individuals, the majority of the time, these are individuals who have not had a job, or they're having problems finding a job, or some of them are less than qualified. So let's say your requirement might be 3 years, or it might require a degree, or you might require a certain amount of experience, right? So these are going to be some individuals that may not have, you may require 1 year experience, maybe they only have 6 months. But because they're in a trainee position, they can work with you and train with you and gain that necessary experience. So, right, and that's the thought process. So the goal, see, people call Workforce Solutions the unemployment office, but we're really the employment office, because we're trying to get people who are not working to have a job. So having 0 salary versus $10 an hour is something for them. But
My first job was $1.25 an hour.
oh, really? I think mine was like $7.50. So that's basically it. The locations and the hourly wage. Those are the things. So attached for each of you individuals, you have an orientation, and then there's a certificate on the back. So what I have to do is give each one of the supervisors this orientation, because it talks about, what the process is, what the guidelines they're supposed to do, and also the rules and regulations. Also, it has a copy of the timesheet, and then once a month, they are monitored, where someone from Workforce Solutions will come out, usually it's me, will come out and monitor this individual. So if we hire somebody that's supposed to be a heavy equipment operator, say in precinct 2, and then we come and find out that person is washing the cars, that's a violation. So things like that.
Why would it be a violation?
Well, because if it's not, you look at the job description for a heavy equipment operator, does it have anything about washing a I'm talking about personal vehicle, not the.
I thought somebody's equipment.
No, a personal vehicle. A personal vehicle. Yeah, they can definitely wash the equipment. And so what we also did, there is if you look on the job description, there is a catch-all. There's 2 things that would help the county out. So there's one thing that has the hourly wages may change based upon season and departments, and then it says it is also understood that the county reserves the right to change the work schedule as required. So in the summer, they may come in earlier, or when the times change, they may come in later, different things like that. Or it also says that the employee may be requested to perform other reasonable related duties as assigned by the immediate supervisor.
The only thing I saw is my contact information is wrong.
Okay.
23, room 23 instead of 3. And there's only 1 orange sheriff all over the place.
All right. Well, I will get my office. Yeah. Yeah.
That's not a big deal.
Right. So that pay can be changed.
Correct my,
Your contact?
and I just marked through it, put the right address on there in case,
That's fine.
so who do we have now getting unemployment?
Who do you have getting?
Who is getting employment? You said you had to do this by the first year because.
Yeah, I don't know who the individual is. See,
I don't know the name. What department's getting employment?
all I know is it's going through the Treasury Department. See, they keep me separate from that because it has to be a separation, because if I know who's going and what the departments and all the requirements, then they could say that I,
That's lost.
influence the process in some way. So what I do is get the contracts approved, and I can tell you all, if you have anybody that's interested, I can have them refer to workforce, but as far as the details, I don't. They're assigned a case manager, and that case manager would know. Now, in the Treasury Department, they would know who it is because they have all the information.
But you're not saying it's going to the treasurer?
No.
It's in
that process because the Treasury Department is also the HR department. So they are working with the case manager to set up the interview and get everything taken care of with that particular department. So I just know there's one person in the works. When I was told this morning that I was coming to get this signed off on, they're like, okay, great, because we need to get this person approved. Well, who is it? Well, you know you can't know, so. All right. So that page that I have the yellow flag on, I just need that one signed.
We've done this many times.
Oh, yeah, lots of.
I'm glad it's a continuing process. I had a fear that, when they went to chopping everything, this would get cut out, so.
Right.
Well, I make a motion to approve Workforce Solutions.
I have a motion by Commissioner Dominic, second by Commissioner Martino. Any questions? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. It's unanimous, 5-0. Now, there's 2 copies.
I usually like to take over Tracy. And I keep one that says yellow. You may take 2 or you want to.
I usually sign, but you gotta get both copies signed by Monica Peters. Just return us a signed copy when you get it. Take a note, I'm delivering them to Ms. Justice.
You got it? Yeah, okay, thank you.
Have a good day, Merry Christmas.
Item number 14, consideration, discussion, and possible vote to approve bond renewal for Margie Ainsworth, County Auditor, bond number LSM 1830318. Everybody's still the same, right?
It's just a renewal.
This is a renewal. I'll make that motion. Second. I have a motion by Commissioner Ward, second by Commissioner Martino. Any questions? All in favor say aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. 5-0. I was going to mention that winter has upon us. It started yesterday, and I had to celebrate. I turned on my air conditioning. You got the bill. That's item number 15. Consideration, discussion, and possible vote to appoint ESD board nominees for San Jacinto County ESD number 1. No, it's only one ESD. There's 2 ESDs. We're doing them separate. Now, I'm not mistaken, the way this process works, there's 5 members on the board, and traditionally, each one of us designates a nominee, and unless there's really some issues, that nominee is confirmed by the vote of the board. This time, we're talking about precinct 1, precinct 3. So I'll start with precinct 1. Who's your nominee?
I make a recommendation for Roger Samoff.
Roger. Is Roger here?
He's not here today.
He's here from time to time. Precinct 3, who's your nominee?
Carson Combs. He's here.
Carson Jones, wasn't he in an opponent of yours? Now, you're an awful open-minded individual. I'm glad to see that.
We have the same interest in.
We're all good. All good.
Same interest in Mark.
And I'm still fighting the folks that ran against me 20 years ago. Bless your heart.
He's a good man.
You're here, come up here. I know your name. That's the first time I remember meeting you. Tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your background? I didn't get anything as far as that. I know a little bit about Roger, but
Do I say into the mic?
sure. Or talk about anything up here.
Yeah, it may not even be on, right? My name is Carson Combs. I was an opponent, Crystal's, for the commissioner position of precinct 3 2 years ago, around this time. She's doing a great job. I have no desire to run against her. Just put that on the record. Right. But I'm 37 years old. I'm married. I have 3 children, 10-year-old, 8-year-old, 5-year-old. Grew up in inner city Houston, moved out here, found our forever home, wanted to be a part of the community. As far as my career, I'm in the most basic sense, I do medical sales. I'm a...
Would you say before medical sales?
That I moved out, found my forever home.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, all right, cool. So on its basic, in the most basic sense, I do medical sales, but I'm a regional vice president for my company.
We talk about medical equipment or medical...
Yeah, so I spend time in the operating room. I do sales calls.
You know, the ESD has quite a bit of dealings with the ambulance providers and things like that. There might be occasions where we need...
I do zero work with ambulance services, so there wouldn't be a conflict.
That's what I'm trying to get to.
Okay.
That's one thing at least you bring into the table. That's good to know.
Yes, sir. I've spent 14 years in the medical field, in various different pockets, but I do a lot of work with the hospitals. Sometimes we do budget contracts, we do negotiations for pricing. Also as far as I'm like a technical advisor, as well in the operating room. I'm kind of all over the place, but I also run my little hobby farm and, take care of animals and my kids.
And what else you like to do?
I like to fish, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, crappie fish
Are you in precinct 3?
and bass fish.
Do you live in precinct?
I do live in precinct 3, yes, sir.
So do I.
And he has our community interest, just like that, so that's my reasoning.
With your nominees, was that considered a motion?
I make a motion to appoint Carson Combs as our ESD one.
Do you think we can give them both done on the same motion? Is that your motion to nominate both nominees?
So Mickey Coleman, or the other one too?
No, just nominate. I'm talking about Roger Simoff and Carson Combs.
Okay.
Well, let me back up. So, we got 2 nominations for those 2 positions. Are there any other nominations from anybody on the court?
Okay, so we'll make a motion
Nominations to cease.
for Carson Combs and Roger Simoff.
Do I have a second?
A second.
I got a motion by Commissioner Dominey, a second by Commissioner Sweeney. So everybody, man, I know Roger, he's a nice guy, and I see him out there. Tell us a little bit about Roger. Well, because I don't know what his background is. He's just a nice guy.
Do you want me to sit down now at this point? Yeah.
Unless you have something else you want to tell us.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just wanted you to.
Well, and regarding Roger, I met him way back, and one of the things that really attracted about him is that he's been going to the ESD board meetings for probably a year, something like that, so he can hit the ground running. as far as all the stuff.
I know when Summit, and he was at the, last time I was there, man.
That's the reason I pulled off and going all over, because I could, find out what's going on. Some of the other ones out there too. But he went to Abilene Christian University on a football scholarship. He's married, got 6 grown children, 15 years.
You know what precinct he lives in?
He's in one. Okay. Yeah, he's out there. He's off of Butch Arthur. There, so.
Yeah.
So anyway, working in marketing, and he worked in fuel supply, distribution, refinery, retail, telecommunication industry. He was a global consulting industry from 97. So anyway, seen over at the senior citizens, he participates over there, and he just joined the First Baptist Church in Gulfport.
Anybody have any other questions or comments? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. It's unanimous. 5-0. We nominate Roger Shamrock for the ESD number 1. Carson Combs. Turn. Now, I used to come over there and swear them in every time they did that, but I don't know who's doing it now. Y'all paying a lawyer to do that now? I'd be glad to show up, I just have to know when it is.
No, sir, I've been swearing them in. I meet with each of the new board members and give them a packet of the budget and the contract.
You're the reason my lips start to pooch out now, is that right?
What does that mean?
Well, I'm just saying, I'll be more than willing to, but it doesn't matter. A notary can swear them in. All right, number 16, consideration, discussion, and possible vote to appoint ESD board nominees for San Jacinto County ESD number 2. I don't have any backup. Is anybody here on that?
I've got Lisa Heyman is going to be my recommendation, and she's here.
Is it?
Motion?
Hold on.
Or
Is it precinct 1?
That one is.
Okay, and who, and precinct 3?
Nikki Culpepper.
I've known Lisa since,
Be nice.
back in the day, her daddy had a cafe and pool hall in New Waverly, and a lot of us boys from Cold Springs would show up over there, and it was that's how long, I won't get into numbers, but, and you were a little bitty sprout back then. I was running around with your brother Tim back in those days.
That was 10 years ago.
You were probably just an infant, as a matter of fact.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Digging itself. Good answer.
Okay, so precinct 1's nominee, do you have a nominee? Who?
Lisa Heyman.
Lisa is your, okay, I was getting confused on it. Lisa Heyman. Lisa C. Heyman, right? Yeah. Precinct 3,
Nikki Culpepper.
Nikki Culpepper here. Come up and tell us a little bit about yourself, sir.
Yeah, I live in Cypress, Texas. I have a house in Waterwood, and I've had a house there since 2017. It's going to be my retirement home, but my wife had other plans because we have 6 grandchildren in Cypress.
I've been with mine for 45 years. I know all about what my plans are and what we're actually going to do.
But anyway, I worked for Baker Hughes in the Houston area for 45 years. I'm a certified public accountant, but
Got a budget man here. That's
budget man.
Yeah, that's good to know.
And contract man, because for the last 30 years, I negotiated any tax disputes around the world for Baker Hughes. So I dealt a lot with Internal Revenue Service.
And shiver, thank you.
Yes. But anyway,
So you said you lived
in Cypress.
in Cypress, but you own a place in Waterwood. I didn't bring any statutes. Does that make him qualified as far as everybody knows? You would have to own property in the. Okay, that's.
And I think it's a pretty popular voice from that area.
Oh,
I got it.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, I had a lake house up in.
You got something, an email that says something good about it?
Lots of-
Yeah. These are glowing recommendations. Can you give me this lady's number? No, that's good.
Got to.
Yeah, I'm currently the treasurer for the golf course in subdivision for the lake.
I'm not a golfer, but I get asked from time to time. The golf course is golfable, so.
It's golfable, we spend like $125,000 a year to maintain it. But it's owned by a gentleman in Pennsylvania, and he's let us use it. So.
I knew we were in trouble up there when years ago I got one of my local constituents who was in the logging business. And whoever was the developer back then had sold him the timber on the golf course. I thought, oh my. Anyway, they got through that, but it was back in the day one of the nicest ones in the state, I would say.
That was a PGA practice course built in 1975. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
It's still though you've got so many volunteers in the neighborhood. That's where I've met a lot of people from last year.
I went to my senior prom at the Waterwood Country Club. I mean, it was, if you were having a hootenanny or anything like that, you had, and it meant something. It had happened up there in Waterwood.
Yeah, we went there in 1990 with a group from Houston, big church. We had a big golf tournament and everything. It was beautiful.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you'd like to tell us?
Glad to serve if you'd like me to serve.
They told you about the pay, right?
They did, yeah.
Can I get a motion to nominate Lisa Hammond and, back up there, any other nominations? If not, can I get a motion, made a motion for Lisa Hammond and Mickey Culpepper for the SD2. Okay, I have a motion by Commissioner Sweeney.
I'll say.
Second by Commissioner Donovan. Any other comments? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it, it's unanimous. Thank you. Y'all are brand new, but I have offered to come swear people in. If y'all let me know, I'll be glad to, but it doesn't have to, it's just, I'm just saying. The offer extends all over the county.
I may or may not have been swearing them into the
You want to swear?
Yeah, he's filling a vacancy, so, did we have a vacancy turn? Did somebody resign or no?
Yeah, Lisa was in there.
Yeah, the other ones, we need to wait till after January 1st.
I didn't put it on the agenda. You made a pro tem executive decision, right? Okay, I'm just checking, that position is not officially vacated. Well, let me know. All right, item number 17. Consideration, discussion, possible vote to approve TK health contract renewal. You spell sheriff for once.
Y'all have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to all y'all folks later.
Appreciate y'all's willingness to serve. Thank you so much. Lisa, tell Tim Kelly what I said, Merry Christmas.
He just texted me and asked me where I was, and I told him I was talking to you.
Tim, I think, still does our commissary contract with the sheriff's office, has for several years. All right.
Is there anything changed on this sheet?
No, what had happened is they did a survey and they checked, our contract was for under 100
That's right.
inmates. Well, they realized with our nurse, she's always behind, she's always running back, because we're running about 136 to almost 140.
So who brought this to their attention? They did.
Apparently, they came to us, sir.
Yeah, I was going to say, we need to have a talk, we pointed it out.
No. So they came to us and told us that we have two options, which is, because we're over that 130 range, we could hire an additional nurse, which would cost us about $81,000 yearly, extra. Or we can go to an electronic record keeping system for the nurse, which is actually going to be about $450 extra.
So, when we're negotiating these contracts with these outside inmates, years ago, the county, whoever's inmate was, paid for their medical. Is there any way we could?
They still pay for their medical. This is our intake nurse.
Is that medical?
That is medical, but that's only when they
It'd
first.
be hard to cut it out and make them pay for it, I guess, is what you're saying.
Well, if you want to try to do it, because they're already checked out by nurses when they come to us. Our nurses just wanted to facilitate that they get medication or anything like that.
Do these people that we're talking about, these additional people, do they administer care to the county?
Everybody in our jail, yes, sir. If they need medical care at that moment, they do that.
Now, does this motion need to state that there's the change in there, it's a renewal, it needs to be to electronic, not the actual nurse?
That's correct. Electronic, all the records are.
No, I'm just trying to figure out if that's what it had to be.
So the 5,000 and then the 450.
Well, the 5,000 you get the program, and then the 450.
The other, so one's gonna be.
Additional 4 hours. Yes.
It's 3,000.
Which basically it's about like, just like $5,000 a year more. And then the other one is 81,000. So it's pretty simple for me to figure out which way to go.
I figured that would be the best.
Well, these are two completely different propositions, though. One is for more help and the other is for some kind of software program.
Correct, and she said because of the software will eliminate her needing a time restraint for all the help.
It'll meet the criteria for having, because we're up to 130.
Correct.
Versus the.
How do you propose to pay for it? Where do you intend to take it out of?
Well, I was just talking to the auditor and we're 3,000 short of what we actually budgeted if they're doing the math right.
Yeah, it's 178,000 versus what we budgeted, 175, so we'll have to come up with at least an additional 3,000.
3,000 plus whatever this costs.
Yeah. That's right, that's 150.
Let's see. So we're paying $14,905 a month already, and we're talking about going up to $450. So, about 81 more thousand.
That'd be for the nurse.
Yeah, because right now we operate with one nurse and that's, that's just during the day. We have
So what you're saying,
we have no nurse or
we
nothing in there.
we can do proposal 1 or we can do proposal 2, is that?
That is correct, sir. Giving you the
What's your
option.
recommendation? recommendation?
I recognize proposal 2 first.
$5,450.
$5,400 versus $81,790. I'll make that motion.
I second it.
I have a motion by Commissioner Latino to approve proposal number 2, implementation of an electronic medical record system through Coral EMR, including a $5,000 startup and a $450 a month maintenance, ongoing maintenance. Who made the second? I have a second by Commissioner Sweeney. $400 a year or $450 a month. Any other comments? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. It's unanimous, 5-0. You got one off town, doesn't tell me what to pay now. Sheriff, we had something else we just signed, Polk County contract. You already got it. Oh my goodness. Sign, right? We better use the one. I signed it in the wrong place. I hope that's.
I got another one here, sir, for you.
Well, we just take the signature page, huh? I wasn't really trying to impersonate a law officer when I signed in your line, Sheriff. They didn't put nothing down there for me. I was just anxious to get it done. Number 18, consideration, discussion, possible vote to approve the request for purchase of new patrol vehicle. Do you have anything in the budget to buy a new patrol vehicle?
That vehicle is gonna be purchased 100% by SB 22 money, so it doesn't cost you a dime.
I'll make that.
Chief Register, I'm gonna say my piece, and I've said it every time. If we like the Ford SUVs, we need to stick to the Ford SUVs. We jumped around so much that at one time, we didn't like them because they weren't good. So they got Chevrolet, they went Ford. I would just like to see some continuity.
Are you ready for my reason for that?
No, I'm just saying that. I wanted that out there. Well, with all due respect, you guys buy whatever y'all want to buy. And we're not buying 150 of each one. We're not either. But yeah, we are. Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to comment.
Let me explain why. So that way you have to understand. Tahoes are so popular right now. I can order a Tahoe. We'll get it next year. I mean, when I say next year, somewhere between 10 to 12 months.
Well, we have the same problem.
And to me, I can't afford to wait that long. I can get the Ford Explorers quicker. That's the number one reason, is how long I have to wait to even get the car.
I get that. But I'm just saying, if they're not gonna last, if we've already proved that they're not gonna last.
I don't know, I got
Ford, just say that's what they told us last time.
Well, sure, here.
I know you weren't, but I'm just voicing my opinion that
It looks like a rainbow in some of the precincts. Some of their equipment's green, some of it's red, some of it's orange, some of it's yellow. I'm a believer in whatever y'all think's best for y'all, as long as we get the best deal we can. My God. 79,000 for one vehicle. What happened to the days, Ray, when we bought them for 32,000? Golly, it don't seem like it was that long ago.
I make a motion to approve patrol vehicle out of SB 22.
Is this already rigged out and loaded and ready?
It's everything but the $1,900 of what you read on the first page. The $1,900 extra, it includes, that's them installing, you get the install of the in-car camera system and strike. Because,
I'll second it.
the other company doesn't do that for us.
I have a motion by Commissioner Donnelly, a second by Commissioner Sweeney. This is four-wheel drive?
No, it's all.
It's all.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's not a four-wheel drive vehicle, no.
That's right, they all come all-wheel drive.
No.
How many wheels has it got?
It's all the buttons, sir.
If this is all-wheel drive, I was.
Spare, it's got a spare? It's right. We've come a long ways when it comes to buying vehicles. I remember sitting right here, or well, we were over yonder, and we bought DPS calls, used vehicles from the DPS motor pool. I'm just saying where we come from.
You know, that was a true, when I first come in, we bought some DPS used vehicles. But back then, DPS only let them get 80,000 miles on them before they turn them in. Now, some of them got.
Well, if we didn't have that money, we'd probably still be buying these.
No, I'm saying, that's how much things have changed from the DPS too. They keep their cars now 200,000.
Yeah, everybody wears them out.
Yep, to 80.
All right, so I have a motion by Commissioner Donnelly, second by Commissioner Sweeney to purchase a new patrol vehicle from Forward Motor Company with SB 22 funds. We got enough of them funds in there to do that? Madam Auditor? Your microphone can't pick up. Yeah, thank you so much. Any other comments? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, unanimous, 5-0. So I guess did you get, was this off the buy board or?
Yes, sir.
It's off the or buy board?
It's the same.
Similar to buy board.
So it's 81,000 basically.
Yes, sir.
Well, the record needs to reflect that.
Well, that's why I had it right.
That's because, it's grant money, they want to make sure you get everything according to the state procurement statute. Item number 19, consideration, discussion, and possible vote to approve the video magistrate request for approval and signature.
So just tell me about the money. Y'all are gonna use seizure and top, and the DA's gonna use seizure?
That is correct.
Is that what I'm doing? For the first year?
Yeah, June, try it out. If everybody likes it, then we'll move forward from there.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion by Commissioner Latuno, second by Commissioner Morrow. So
This is about the third time we've talked about this.
Yes, that's what I was.
$620 a month. Just so we can be able to do video. What are we getting for $620 a month?
What we're getting is, where all the forms are all together.
I do occasional magistrations, only when there's not a JP around, or y'all say, hey, this guy's tearing up the jail, would you come set a bond on him so we can get him out? And you know, I don't do a lot of them, but I do some.
It's the paperwork trail too, right?
And just
It's all
so,
about paperwork trail. It's all about accountability.
sure.
Well, it's apparently the legislature has passed a statute that says magistrations, that's the part where they, first judge you meet in the jailhouse, reads you your rights, tells you what you're charged with, what the rank of person is, blah, blah, blah. Supposed to tell you that you have a right to a lawyer, if you can't afford a lawyer, then one can be appointed. And then if they want a lawyer appointed, then you hand them the form to fill out, make sure they're indigent and so forth. Well, that's all, the public has the right to see that.
This gives them that right.
How long does it stay where you can see it, or you have to do it like, as it's happening live? Can you go back and look at it?
To my knowledge, yes, we can.
Or how long does it save? I mean.
Oh, now you're gonna ask me to lie to you.
I'm just curious. All that's required to make this happen though is a camera in there where the magistrate is doing that and mount a big screen TV out in the lobbies of the jail. And you tell the public, if you want to come video or watch the magistration, you can come sit out there in the lobby and look at that TV screen. That don't cost $620 a month. I don't know why I don't know what all this does and why would we be spending it. That's the way
This way, all the paperwork is consolidated. And when I get a phone call from the DA's office, I get a phone call from you, I get a phone call from anyone else. All I have to do is ship that paperwork straight to that person. Everything's accounted for. Everything's there. Everything's documented. It's video.
If somebody scans it in there, it is.
Right. But this way, it's done properly at the very first, so it stays proper the whole time. We have so many problems with loose papers and forms not getting where they need to be in court. We're having cases prolonged.
Well, I have cases that I've been on the docket for 6 or 8 months, and the guy didn't show up, and I looked at his folder and, well, got a motion to forfeit his bond. Well, how do you know he didn't got a bond? There's no bond in the file. And most of the time, that's your guy who gets arrested in Conroe, and they never send it over here. But some of them are here, and I agree, there's a problem, but I don't know what.
We're trying to fix all those.
We get a year to try it out, look at it, it doesn't seem like it's bang for the buck.
That's correct.
We do it. So scenario wise, why would we be here if somebody got arrested in Conroe just because people commit crimes here and they don't catch them here, so they might be driving through Dallas and they got stopped for speeding. Or they went in to get their driver's license because they live in Brenham and then they get arrested. Because you got a warrant here. I don't know what I mean. Yeah, there are lots of reasons. We don't arrest people.
But we go get them. We go get the ones who come.
But right now we're doing it with paper. Mr. Jolly, are you Stan Jolly, blah, 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 sign here if you want a lawyer. There's the paper. Well, your guy's supposed to put it in a file and so it gets sent over to the clerk. Or sent to the DA first, and then the DA decides whether he's going to file a case. How's this going to be any easier? All they had to do was put it in a file and give it, pass it along.
Once we have this started, Judge.
That same person's now going to scan it all into the computer. I just don't see where you're going to save the nickel.
You don't have to come to my office. You can do it right from your laptop. You can do it from your house. You can do it from your office upstairs. You can do it from wherever you're at.
These guys don't know what the process is like. I understand what the law says. So are we going to be like broadcasted these registrations on YouTube or something like that?
No, they have the ability to come and pull it up and look at it. The whole idea is having it together. And our main purpose is paperwork, because we have a hell of a relationship, we have a problem with paperwork.
I'm not for spending $620 a month so we can broadcast this everywhere. My suggestion would be to put a TV screen like a lot of the other counties are doing. You want to come, no different than coming up there in person and watching it. They have a right to come up there and watch me while I set somebody's bond. I don't see the advantage to doing what you're doing other than we're spending somebody, it's an advantage to the computer company and the IT guy, that's just something else he's gonna have to keep up with.
Well, it's a advantage to us too, so.
I'm waiting.
I just explained to you all the paperwork together, all of it is all together.
Did I hear you say it may reduce employees, you get rid of employees? I didn't say that.
I'm sure the police
So y'all gonna pay for it with, seizure?
That is correct.
And the bid.
We're getting a little more modern.
It's so simple, just hook up a camera and let people watch it if they wanna come up here and watch it. Going through all this broadcast and everything, and then if it goes down,
Every JP judge can do it from their office without having.
one of them goes and does it in person.
Without having to come to the office.
I'm pretty sure the oldest ranking JPs still prefers to do it in person. So, was he even consulted?
Yeah, everybody was consulted. And the majority wants this.
Seizure. I guess if one of them doesn't want to do it, he doesn't have to pay for the service and he can continue
He's not paying for anything. We're paying for it.
the first year.
Yes.
He spends his own mortgage.
And I know you're paying for the seizure.
We may end up loving it.
I doubt it. Because I understand what we're actually doing here. We're spending money.
In a year, when you get ready to renew it, if you don't like it, you can cut him out as a user. Yes, sir, we sure can.
Or any good for 3 years.
That's correct.
Then you cut them out, if you still want to do it, right?
It'll save you.
I'm just saying there's no, I understand what's going on. There's no real need to do it. I'd rather you take your seizure money and you might need another camera to go on, a body cam or a vest. I think there's way better ways to spend your seizure money than this. So anyway, that's all I got to say. Any other comments? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it, 4-1. Item number 20, consideration, discussion, possible vote to approve the replacement for jail transport van. Did we budget to replace a jail transport van, chief?
Y'all took every vehicle I put in my budget out of the budget.
We probably spent $500,000 on vehicles.
No, we have not spent any. Grant has spent money on vans, but the
What
county has not
difference does that
purchased no vehicles.
Answer my question, did you have it in your budget to buy this van
Last year?
this year?
Yes, sir, I had 2 vehicles on my budget you took out.
No, the approved budget. What got approved? You have
No, you took out my vehicles, I didn't have no vehicles on my budget.
Then you don't have it in your budget to buy. So how are we gonna buy it? It's not in your
Well,
budget.
If you get, it's in writing
I
here.
read what your letter said. We're in the 2nd month of the budget so far.
Okay,
We have not collected anything over what we budgeted for the whole year. And how budgets work is, every department theoretically brings in revenue. They don't get to keep whatever comes in. If that were the case, Miss Davis would be practicing her trade in a Taj Mahal, but she collects all the money. Just because, when we built that jail 20 years ago, we designed it to generate to make money, so we could pay for other things that have to do with county budget, and that's how like sanitation, for instance, we could charge everybody $500 a year to have sanitation, and then it might break even, but that's not, the public ain't gonna like it if we're charging them $500, so we charge them $125, and then we have to supplement that department by, and most of it probably comes out of the jail revenue. That's all I'm getting at.
And picking up more trash.
Yeah.
So you ready for my part of it? My part of it is this, our annual budget, y'all took out, we do all the prisoners taken, we take in the prisoners, we take care of all of them, we transport them, we take care of everything. And on that, we budgeted for the annual budget, $250,000 out of our money that we receive from maintaining outside budget, outside inmates.
You don't determine where the money comes from, that's a contract.
I'm gonna just finish. So that's where we started with that. So at the end of January of this year, we've already met our requirement that the county says, oh, we're gonna make this much money, and we put it in our budget to pay for things, $250,000. I know there's gonna be more things come up, and I know there's more things to spend that money on. All I was asking for is for 1 month, less than half of the money coming in for 1 month, half of it, $27,000, and we'll pay the other $27,000 for a new jail van, which is used with our inmates.
Do you realize when we bought the jail van initially, we had contracts with other counties and we were naive. We went around and picked them up at other counties because that's how much we needed the income. We had changed, I think a couple of years ago, we changed the contracts, and we don't go pick up nobody's inmates. We pick up our own. We don't drive to Trinity, and we were chauffeuring them back and forth, and it was killing us. That's why we have a transport van in the first place. So how often do you actually go pick up more than 1 or 2 at a time?
I use that jail van every time we go pick up trash around this county, because I use more than just 2 inmates to pick up trash.
Well, that's a whole nother subject.
My deal is, how much do I use it? I use it for that. We go, if the weather's bad enough, we're gonna use it to transport all our prisoners back and forth.
But you're not driving them to Idaho or nowhere like, you just driving around here to pick up trash?
Yeah, but our van won't even start today. We try to use it today, it's broken. We have no jail van. I'm trying to fix the problem.
It's a 2010?
Yes, ma'am. And I found this is our second solution we brought to the board. The first one was turned down, this is the second one.
You have a budget. If you got the money in the budget, that you can, you got something over here to buy. If you put too much in medical care and you can afford to do that, we'd just do a budget amendment.
Well, let's just run over, so we're using more than we budgeted, so that's not the case.
Well, that's just an example, Commissioner.
So what about Senate Bill 22? Is there not enough money in Senate Bill 22 to do that?
Well, I'm trying to work out where I'm buying more patrol cars with the 22 money. That's what I'm trying to use my 22.
Well, see, you got another.
That's right, I got another one coming up.
Sheriff.
Well, it's because the vehicle we're using now for the sheriff's vehicle is a rental, and we're upside down on the mileage, and it's getting, the sheriff patrols this county extremely from that vehicle. That vehicle's mileage is so far upside down that vehicle really ain't worth what we're paying for because of the mileage.
So last year, we lost about almost $1 million on jail revenue, and it's not your fault, but that money was still lost.
Okay,
we're still trying to recover from that.
But we're still on this budget here. We're on this budget, not that budget.
You don't care about what happened before.
Well, it's in the past.
Sir?
It's in the past. That budget's already closed and locked out. We're looking at this budget this year. That's what you keep telling me. It's this budget year.
So how many miles is on the rental car, the rental truck that we have over at the courthouse every day?
I think 34,000.
Very, very low miles, so.
But that's pretty much on all, a lot of them are around, they're all pretty close to the
same. So you're saying we're paying more than they're worth on all?
No, I did not say that.
I thought that's what I heard.
No, sir, that is not
what you said.
I said on the sheriff's vehicle.
Okay.
the one the sheriff.
So you want to trade that one in? Is that what you're asking for here?
No, sir, what I'm saying is, we're gonna take that one out of being driven by the sheriff and put the sheriff in a different vehicle, so the mileage won't kill us like it is with the rental car. So we can keep the rental longer. You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to be economical. Yeah, I'm trying to keep some of the miles off of it. Because our sheriff patrols this county all the time. He's everywhere. And I can get another vehicle for him for a lot less money.
Is there somewhere in y'all's budget where y'all are able to move money over that you can?
Well, see, that's, we don't have, I can tell y'all right now, the jail, when I looked at our budget for the last 3 years, it has not went up other than the $1,000 bid. So, but I do know that right now, the $1,000, the increase of,
Your budget for the sheriff's department is $3.9 million. When I started here, it was $900,000. It's went up $3 million.
yeah, in 20 years.
So how many vehicles do you have? And we did spend, I misquoted, it wasn't $500,000, it's $481,000 we spent last year on vehicles. So don't sit up there and tell me we didn't buy vehicles yesterday. Last year we did. All I'm getting at is, I'm all for you having everything you can, but you've got to learn, this is y'all's first year. And I got to show you, you got to learn how to follow your budget.
I have followed my budget, that's why I propose this, where I'm using SB 22 money, plus money coming through where we generated, and all I'm asking for is $27,000.
It wasn't.
If you say no, then it's no.
It wasn't.
I don't want to argue with you, sir, I just, yes or no, that's all I need. Because if you're not going to do it, then we'll just have a jail van broke down there, and if we need something, we'll call outside counties to hold more than one.
Well, that doesn't make no sense.
Well, I'm trying to talk, but I'm getting yelled at, and I don't want to be yelled at.
Yelling at you, but.
You are yelling at me.
Is there a line item that we could move it from?
It's his budget. If you got one,
No.
tell us where you want to take the money.
You know what?
Or
There's no offer there. There's no, it's taken out of whatever we got to operate out of, which we don't have enough.
That's the real world we live in.
Okay. But we can't take it out of
We did
work.
not collect last year.
So we don't have a surplus anywhere in this county where we can get $27,000 from.
No.
Okay. So you're telling me in public court that we have no surplus budget whatsoever?
That's your budget. You have to look at it and see. I'm not looking at the auditor's report. You can shave a little bit out of every line and take it out. That'd be fine with me.
even when we have a surplus, if it isn't put in there, you can't just.
Well, I tried to read it, I was told no.
That's not how it works, Chief.
That's fine. I mean,
I know it's your job to advocate for whatever, but it's our job to follow the law and administer the county.
Well, I ain't asking anything against the law.
So you want a motion to buy it out of Senate Bill 22? I'll give that to you.
No, sir.
All right.
There's no money, nowhere else you can pull from, Chief, to try to.
No, I'm not doing that at this time. I got a whole year to go through, and I can tell you right now, I already know that a fully staffed department, and with what we're running on, I can almost guarantee you that I don't have extra funds to spend on that. That's why I come to y'all to ask for the extra funds.
Previously, we were never fully staffed, so the company
Never.
was abundance, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how long ago it's been since y'all been fully staffed running.
Well, I think that probably is one area where previous administrations, they have a couple of spots that weren't filled, and they always did. I mean, well, that happens, and I get that. You're absolutely, completely staffed, right?
I am, sir.
You're good, that's good.
Well, I have been for a while.
Well, we'll look at it here again.
First time in many years.
Yeah. Item number 21, consideration, discussion, possible vote to approve purchase of new sheriff vehicle with Senate Bill 22 grant.
I make that motion.
Can we at least talk about how much money we're gonna spend and all that? Somebody got this out of order. This talks about additional costs, this is a different vehicle, right? T-shirt, one we just did.
That's what I want to trade for mileage.
This is the pickup truck?
That's,
You are gonna strike it?
Yes, sir.
So where does that rental go?
It's gonna go to someone that's not driving as much, like myself or one of the captains, because it's just not driven as hard on it, because we need to reduce the mileage on it.
Does every single person that's got a car driving home?
Yes, sir.
Are they driving them several counties away or?
No, sir.
Okay, I'm just asking. I'm glad to hear that. We used to get calls from our constituents and, man, old so-and-so's working the job down there off Sugar Land in one of our county vehicles. We're not doing anything like that.
Sir, if I find one of my guys working extra job with one of our county vehicles, you might see him in jail.
I'm glad to hear that. I believe that. I'm just saying.
I second that motion.
So I had a motion by Commissioner Dominique, second by Commissioner Sweeney. So everybody that has a vehicle driving home.
Yes, sir.
Sheriff's truck, yeah. This will be the sheriff's truck.
I get the thinking.
That's why it's cheaper to equip.
I get the thinking on that, if all, you know what, broke loose, and you had to call off, everybody you needed, they could hit straight up there instead of coming all the way up there and getting a waste of time. I can see the logic of that.
and an added benefit, since we can't pay off it.
Right. Any other comments? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, unanimous, 5-0. So just for the record, it says Silverado here, Chevrolet.
Yes, sir.
Was that on the Bible order?
Yes, sir.
Or what they call it tips, it's
Same.
another name for it's a Bible type organization.
And it's actually from the same dealer. They just have a Chevrolet dealer also.
Lake Country out of Jasper.
Yeah, it is.
And they got one ready to go then.
Well, they said they did.
Yes, good.
Did you see all that? Yeah, I seen them, they had all where all game board trucks were. Have you ever been up there?
No, sir.
I remember about 7 months I went through there, and they had 200 game board trucks rigged out up there at that dealership you're talking about.
Don't worry, I will not get a green truck.
No, I'm just saying, I'm not saying get one, I'm just saying they did have game board trucks up there.
Next thing you know, they'll think we're somebody else.
Pretty neat.
Element of surprise. All right. Number 22, consideration, discussion, and possible vote to approve the purchase of mobile workstation. Can I get a motion on that?
I'll make a motion.
What is it? It's a workstation.
It's got a Stanley workstation there.
$880. They're gonna get 6 of them for $134.70 a piece.
I'll second.
Come on, man. Nobody wants to know what, nobody wants to ask me why.
Yeah, I already asked you.
For our detectives, when they go to the scenes, instead of having to run back and forth to their car, they have it all together with their cameras, everything all in one box. They roll that sucker out to the scene, work their whole scene right there, and then put it all back in the car.
So is it Senate Bill 22?
Yes.
Hey,
It doesn't say that.
can I ask make a statement? Yeah, in his letter. My statement would be, the faster we get this property cleaned, the faster we could get something going. You sure got a lot of employees over there that could pick up workers.
You know,
Don't need no van to get them over there, chief, they just walk across there. All that clearing we got going over there.
Oh, over there. That's what a machine does with the grabber, just grab the roots.
Our dogs don't have a rake on it, so we're done. We don't have a
We're scheduled with the skid steer.
It ain't gonna get all of it.
I expect some overruns on that, chief, that's why I'm being the way I'm being.
I'm not trying to get something, the faster we get it cleared, the faster we get something started. So there's some road pickers.
You know, so maybe we can facilitate with some other people.
There you go. That's what I'm asking. Those are Easter eggs after the Easter egg.
The problem is if you gotta have somebody to watch it, obviously.
We got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm fully staffed, remember?
You know, that's the first time you think I'm lying, that's the first time in a long time I've heard that.
You're looking at least two guys who remember the days at one point or another where they'd show up at, what, 6 o'clock, and they'd have 45 inmates apiece to go out and do road and bridge stuff.
Or do projects, like
now, they're lucky if they get one, and it might be 11 o'clock.
Have you not dealt with young people today? Nobody wants to work, sir. They'd rather sit in the jail. They are really lazy.
You give them a choice about.
Yes, sir, that is what they call volunteering. Yes, you have a choice. You do not force people, we don't own them.
I never thought about that. I would think they'd want to get out of that thing in 20 years.
No, it's volunteer. It's volunteers.
Yes, sir.
So, back to the transport, man, you say $27 left of the citizen money? I mean, you got that.
No, I don't know what's left. I'm not going to.
I'm just curious.
I want to try to get another patrol vehicle.
he said.
I'm trying to get another patrol vehicle. Patrol vehicles are more valuable to me than a jet.
They are us too. So I got a motion by Commissioner Swing and a second by Commissioner Dominic, to purchase the workstations. All in favor say aye. Any opposed, ayes have it, you got. At your instruction, I took off the line from Lone Star. I don't think we got any money left to spend on those.
Can I bring up something on that?
Sure.
All right. I lied. I noticed in the new budget, there was 2 items on the other budget that did get approved. I didn't even know it till I looked and I saw it on there. I thought everything got taken off. But they did give us money for one more handheld radio, which will be on your next budget.
Yes, sir.
Then they also gave me $30,000 to purchase some more super spy equipment. They approved it. I don't know why.
Put that on the vehicle, huh?
No, it's specific what it is. So, but yeah, they approved those 2 items only. They took everything else off.
Yes, sir. Well, anytime, when you get ready to put it on there, just.
It's gonna be on your next agenda.
I think that's, anything else, Chief?
No, sir.
All right. Have a good one.
Hey, Chief, y'all guys, Merry Christmas.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes, tomorrow.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, y'all.
Y'all too.
Be safe.
All right, item number 23, consideration, discussion, possible vote to approve necessary actions regarding matters pertaining to the community park. Trying to remember what all, I know, the city, Mayor Manistade had, there was some permit issues or something, but I called him while we were in court, and he said, go ahead, do what you're going to do, and then a letter did fall through. Get a letter from him. Yeah, it said, we're good for his permit thing, because he talked to, the guy who drew up our plans for that, was an engineer named Pat Oates, who's with Goodman Lassiter, and that's the same engineer that the city uses, so I said, I really doubt he'll throw out his own plans, so we're all good. I think
Let's talk about the permits for a minute for the city. I was always under the impression that one entity was exempt from another entity, like, we are exempt from the city's permits. School districts are in the cities, and I know the county is too. I mean, yes, it's good to talk to them a little, but I'm pretty sure they're exempt from that.
well, as far as, he's already acknowledged in that letter that he sent that they were gonna waive any fees that we have for permits anyway. I've heard the same thing. I've not had an opportunity to look into whether or not we actually are or not. And we're getting along so well anyway, why argue about whether we need their permission or not? Permission is pretty much freely granted.
Do they get our permission to do that?
No.
That's right. And I'm not trying to be argumentative, I'm just saying that's kind of the way it works. Because we are a county, we are here before they are. So anyway, long story short,
I'm not prepared to argue about that without looking up the law.
I got a proposal somewhere on my desk this morning about playground assembly.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
And I don't know where it come from, I don't know who sent it, we haven't sent it, but.
Have you been able to call her, Johnny? She supposedly
I talked to her, maybe this is where this come from, I just talked to her about it. But they have a deal here for EWF material installed, which is probably cubic yards, so it's probably gonna be, and I have that donated already. Steve Lumber's gonna donate that. And I guarantee
donate what?
that $17,000,
We'll visit with her about it.
well, I mean, it's just here.
We'll visit with her about it.
And then the next thing is, I've got a bid, Chris Wren sent his block layer to bid on that. Did you have that email too?
I have seen it. I saw something that said like 28,000. Now, that was on you're going too fast.
On blocks.
To put the playground equipment, I saw something that said,
That's it.
28,000.
That's what I got here. But also, Chris Wren had his block man, which is a developer of Louise Crystal's development. And he sent a quote, $15,000, and we bought all the material, sand and mortar and block. I thought that was kind of high. I don't know what block laying costs.
Well, did you go to school with David Teller? You know his sister Margaret married to Larry Lovett. Margaret was in your wife's class, blah, blah, blah. Their daddy put concrete blocks up all over creation. I just got David's number. I was going to call him and get an idea. I'm not saying he's interested in doing it.
Really good when you should do it, they go on now.
The Miami boys out of Camilla are not there. Brother Rideau, remember Rideau? He could break my house. That was 32 years
They
ago.
just sold his daughter, just sold his property.
He's probably long gone.
Oh, yeah.
Old man, when he did.
Tall, skinny man.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, we had talked about it. Yeah, go over to Cherry Creek, right about Cherry, Butcher's.
What about Ibison? And them Ibisons putting them bricks in there?
I don't think so.
I don't know about that stuff.
What about George? Was George taught that trade?
I'll tell you somebody to talk to. He was your neighbor at one time, Chris. Barney Thomas.
Who?
Barney Thomas, down on the lake.
Ronnie Thomas.
Go through Camilla Road.
Yeah.
That's, you don't realize where he was a bricklayer. He owns all the brick companies down there. That's where he got it from. His
I
son,
thought he was a plumber.
bricklayer, bricklayer.
Well, anyway, y'all can talk to them to find out, the just so prints that the city's approved.
Yeah, Ronnie Thomas.
Ronnie Thomas.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I wonder where he's at nowadays.
Cemetery, no?
Oh, yeah?
You know, you go through Camilla Cove, he owns all that,
Yeah.
all that lake property.
Yeah, about 90 acres.
Yeah, with high fence.
Yeah, I know.
That's where he was. It's all his family does that. Still owns all the store there.
I didn't know that. We need to approach him.
He's not a big contractor. Part of it.
Very nice. I gotta write this down, or I'll be.
That's why I said your neighbor.
Yeah. So we're not prepared to do anything. We probably need to check and see if we can come up with some better numbers on it. Brick mason and putting the playground.
Did you see anything of it? Was it all?
That was just, bricks.
We good.
All right. Number 16. I had something on Roger here that somebody gave me.
Samuel?
Yes, sir. Abilene Christian. He's like a good level-headed guy.
He's almost a bad watch.
So no action on item number 23. Miss Adams is not here today. No action. Let's go back to, number 6, approval of claims. We got any bills we need to pay there?
Wires on mine. I'm not saying we're gonna do that.
Tell you that in Houston. They said, gas and diesel. Call Lighters.
I hope so.
They come to a sample Friday. I ain't heard nothing back on yet. That's all, the only place we ever got diesel from, sir.
There's two, 149 and 119.
Waiting on analysis.
I would like to know that too.
I'm not saying that.
Oh, yes, because that was for the shared back.
Okay.
That on the top, shared
Enough said.
Back,
2010.
it was hydraulic fitting and O-ring. Total was $477, all $4 split. Is that true?
The tracker? Y'all had work on the tracker?
Yes.
Okay, but
Yes.
it didn't say that.
Yes. And then, what was the other one?
Well, it was 119 or something.
That was,
All right, well, I just didn't know if it was billed to me wrong, because I don't usually use one here. It stuck out like a sore thumb, is what I'm saying.
I'll just, Commissioner, you're spending your money.
I think it's,
We don't have a whole lot in there.
So you're saying we're using road and bridge money to work on sheriff departments? Impound? All right, whatever.
Well,
What about our bills? We got any bills we need to pay?
yeah, I said, I knew he bought a jack and got reimbursed.
He said, how did you know? I said, well, Marcy's already got it in there. Chris must have sent that affidavit over quick.
Well, one more thing I was gonna talk about the jail, or the sheriff's department. We just spent $15,000 putting the emergency unit up there for maintenance that has zero to do with their budget. So, just put all that in perspective. If y'all didn't know that.
Where did we, and we took it out of what?
Maintenance, I mean, it's all about maintenance, I mean.
Well, I don't know that they don't have money to pay for that.
That's what I'm saying though, but
Maintenance does though. They got some, no, I hear you.
I'm just trying to put a bigger perspective on what's going on.
Oh, I agree.
I think we just about replaced all of them.
Hopefully, and I'm so glad we
Make
made
a motion to pay the bills.
roof.
Yeah.
Motion by Commissioner Sweeney, and second by Commissioner Dominic to pay the bills. Any other comments? I wasn't trying to cut you off, but I got you.
Look at Crystal Ward.
Can't blame me again.
If there are no other comments on paying the motion that's pending to pay the bills, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, it's unanimous 4-0. Commissioner Mars has stepped out for a second. It's Christmas time. There he is. You want to pay the bills?
Yes, sir.
Make it 5 over there.
I ain't gonna sign them up.
All right, item number 7, consider approval of budget amendments and revenue certification.
We got some park donation there over the years.
Yes.
What were the sale of the bricks?
Yeah, all of the donations for, let's see, we have Ms. Ambrose, 500, another 500, Judge Faulkner, 500,
Thanks, Jeff.
and Duncan's donations.
Hey, oh, the proceeds from getting done.
Yes.
The proceeds from getting done.
Yes.
So where's the list for that?
The list.
You just know that.
Yes, well, I have to.
And I'm broke on Thursday.
Oh, yes, she is.
Jerry said no, I mean like over.
Hey, next year on that Dunkin' booth, hey, Crystal, next year on that Dunkin' booth, you need your chief appraiser or the appraiser district on it. Cause everybody will throw it in.
Yeah, 'cause they don't want to tax.
Everybody,
That is one job I was not.
everybody would.
They all bring in, because
Well, they right?
Might not know who he is.
So can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the budget amendments and revenue certifications.
I have a motion by Commissioner Tuno,
I'll second.
second by Commissioner Mars. Any questions? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, it's unanimous, 5-0.
Is it back to the record?
No, I don't know what's going on.
Number 8, consider approval of minutes of meetings of regular meeting November 12th. Sorry about that, I called this,
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
I have a motion by Commissioner Dominic, a second by Commissioner Sweeney. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it, it's unanimous, 5-0.
Something I'm working on that cheese, something I'm saying. Yeah. I'm telling that, I'll go on down, I'll let you know.
Sam, did you hear what he said? He said that was an
Grandson trying to read over his scholarship.
I said, what's that?
He said they're young, Richard University.
For the rivals,
Let's just. Well,
that's a true statement.
30.
So, no, it's.
Basically got.
We should probably credit that
His buddy, answer.
Are you making a donation?
The snow skiing.
On behalf.
I said, son, I don't think you can go snow skiing or ride motorcycles or rock climbing.
I might go there and clean it a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
school property now.
I think we'll all have an old school bus down there.
Property need my money.
I can give you $1 million. A text that says that one of the games next season is gonna be played.
Buddy,
I need to get my.
remember that board?
Almost is on her own. I got one. I went and watched the Stros in Toronto, and you have to have a passport to get over that little deal.
What they said, cons.
Down, I'd love to go.
I didn't put in my pockets, I ate them all that night, so.
Pecans?
I did, I love it.
He got a hickory tree on the property.
Oh, really, hickory nuts?
Big old hickory nuts.
Have you ever cracked any of them? They be good?
I got a couple in my truck.
Oh, wow.
You gotta be also number 9, I don't think I said, receive and consider.
I don't know, I think Michelle.
Yeah, you sure smash some fingers.
Treasurer,
I was gonna pull out.
auditor, sheriff, county,
Oh, really, wow.
district clerk, justice courts,
Native hickory tree.
emergency management, agri-life, energy and health, 7 foot. I don't
That
know.
lemon tree.
I beat you to fire marshal, that's on there. 7 years of your life, have a good one. Veterans off,
Big around.
Probably be too old for the diggers.
Thorns, every damn thing.
Make that motion, Judge, we accept it. Thank you so much. I have a motion by Commissioner Sweeney. Second by Commissioner Donovan. Any questions or comments? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, unanimous, 5-0.
I'll make the next motion.
I have a motion to adjourn by our senior commissioner. Have a second? Second. I have a second by Commissioner Sweeney. All in favor say aye. Y'all have a Merry Christmas.
Hey, everybody, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
We'll see y'all at the Christmas party